After bringing my mother from the mountains to live in the city, my entire family resented me. To appease them, I moved everyone into my penthouse and provided lavish care. Yet Tony remained unsatisfied, demanding I arrange a new wife for him to bear a son. Jason fanned the flames, pressuring me to transfer my property deed for his wedding. When I refused, they drugged and sold me to Larry, a 60-year-old mountain dweller. I died from brutal abuse, my corpse devoured by wild dogs while they squandered my inheritance. Now reborn on the day Jason demanded my penthouse, I stared coldly at the smug Johnsons. Tony's slap still burned my cheek as he roared, "Hurry up and transfer the property to your brother. Girls are worthless burdens, this penthouse should belong to our family's future." I shoved him away, my body remembering the agony of being torn apart by dogs in my past life. Memories flooded back, rescuing Sophia from these monsters during college, only to endure decades of exploitation. The Johnsons had leached off my success while trashing my home, sexually harassing staff, and demanding luxury cars. Jason sneered. "Security guard? I'm the Johnson dynasty heir." His unwashed stench filled the room as Tony threatened, "Should have beaten you more like your whore mother. Last lifetime. They'd drugged and sold me to Larry, the mountain village brute who left me dying in the wilderness after failed pregnancies. Now, watching these parasites scheme over my assets, I smiled. Let them taste their own poison." Though Tony's farm hardened muscles and Jason's youth outmatched me physically, financial warfare required no fists. My corporation's legal team would freeze every account, while private investigators uncovered their tax evasions. The Johnsons would learn true helplessness, trapped in mountain poverty with lawsuits devouring their ill-gotten gains. "Keep the penthouse." I shrugged, already drafting emails to revoke their credit lines. "Enjoy your last supper." Their bewildered rage fueled me. This time, the wild dogs would feast on different prey. I covered my face to calm down, my voice weak. "Tony, it's just a house. I'll take Jason to transfer the title tomorrow." Hearing my concession, Tony looked triumphant, hawking phlegm onto his custom leather sofa. "Get your ass to the kitchen and cook." Jason lounged on the couch playing video games, sneering, "Women need discipline. We've been too soft on you." The next morning, I printed stacks of documents before returning with breakfast. Jason scowled but drank the soy milk. My smile widened as he drained the cup. When I handed him the thick stack, he slapped me. "You expect me to read this crap? It's giving me a migraine." The agitation powder I'd mixed into his drink worked perfectly. "Jason, property transfers are complicated," I soothed. "Let's temporarily put it under my name first." He snatched the papers and scrawled signatures before hurling them at my face. "You think you're worthy of my property, Vicky? We shouldn't have raised trash like you." Remembering decades of abuse from these parasites, I slapped him twice. Hot soy milk cascaded over his head as he lunged at me. For 6 feet 3 inches bodyguards materialized, one effortlessly pinning Jason to the floor. "Throw him out with the garbage," I ordered. "Trash belongs in dumpsters, not homes." Jason scrambled up, face purple. "This is my house, Vicky." "How dare!" A bodyguard's kick silenced him. As they dragged him away, he spat, "Dad will skin you alive." I crouched to pat his swollen cheek. "Tony's getting slapped too. Family discount." Tony found his bruised son at the gate that evening. "Vicky beat me. Stole my house." The enraged father kicked down my door. "Kneel and apologize. Transfer the house now." I laughed. "My money bought this house. Letting you stay was charity. Evicting you is justice." Security arrived breathless. "Sorry, Miss Johnson. Remove these trespassers. I'll sue if this happens again." Tony struggled against the guards. "I'm her father. This is my home." I flashed my ID. "Victoria Johnson. We share nothing." He broke free, charging inside, right into waiting handcuffs. "I don't care what you call yourself. This is my home and I'm not leaving." My hand finally connected with his face as he stepped through the doorway. Two sharp slaps echoing through the room. Congratulations to Tony and Jason for earning matching palm prints. After that day when both Tony and Jason got thrown out of the complex, I never saw them again. Tony had threatened to call the police. But when I showed up at the station covered in bruises, even the officers looked away. They dismissed it as a domestic dispute and sent us home, except security barred the Johnsons at the gate while I walked through, their furious tantrums failing to sway the guards. Ms. Vicky. The board members are waiting in the conference room. My assistant's voice snapped me back to the present. Employees whispered behind their hands as I walked through the office, their sidelong glances following me until a breathless security guard rushed in. Ms. Vicky. There's a man claiming to be your father. Tony burst through the door waving banners, grabbing my arm dramatically. Look at this ungrateful wretch. I raised her from nothing and this is how she repays me. He turned to the stunned staff, tears streaming. You educated people tell me, is this how children should treat their parents? As murmurs spread through the crowd, my assistant tried guiding him away. Let's discuss this privately. No. Everyone should know Vicky is a backstabbing snake. Tony shouted, shaking his protest signs. Is this who you want running your company? My assistant whispered urgently. The board members can hear this. I raised a calming hand. Dad. Really? After you gave me those black eyes last week. I shouldn't have pushed you. My mistake. The crowd's murmurs turned hostile toward Tony. Who names their daughter Vicky anyway? Sounds like sexist trash. Someone muttered. Tony flushed crimson as I produced 2 plane tickets. Let's handle family matters privately. I was just planning our vacation. His eyes lit up until he saw the names. Where's my ticket? Thailand's for young people, I said, ushering him into my office. I'll wire you $100. 000 spending money. We'll travel together next time. The promise of cash mollified him. About time you showed respect. Transfer it now. I smiled, watching security escort him out. Dearest father. There's only one organ donor match available. You're too old anyway. Patience is a virtue. At the airport, Jason barked orders like royalty. Carry my bag. Get me water. I smiled through every demand. When we landed, my prearranged driver met us, taking us straight to dinner. While Jason visited the restroom, the driver handed me a packet. Everything's ready. Ms. Vicky. He'll be out cold in 20 minutes. I stirred the powder into Jason's rice. He returned, shoved his plate at me. I don't want this. You eat it. My appetite's gone, I said evenly. The chopsticks hit my chest as he exploded. You think I didn't see you poison my food? You bitch? I knew there was something off about you suddenly wanting to take me on vacation. You planned this all along, didn't you? I calmly picked up my dropped chopsticks, scooping a large mouthful of rice with my spoon. Stop being paranoid. I'm your sister, why would I hurt you? Jason watched me swallow the food, confusion flashing across his face. Within minutes, he began swaying dangerously. The chauffeur lunged forward just in time to catch his collapsing form. I handed the driver a thick stack of bills. Excellent service deserved proper compensation. Because I drugged your meal in the kitchen, I sweetly informed my half-conscious brother, patting his flushed cheek. That was antidote powder I sprinkled earlier. Dear brother. 8 hours later, I greeted the surgical team wheeling out a pale Jason. When asked about disposing the removed tissue, I waved dismissively, feed it to the strays. He awoke screaming in the recovery room, fingers trembling under the hospital blanket. Vicky. I'll murder you for this. Jason's voice cracked as he clutched his bandaged chest. Now, Jason. I tooted, admiring his new feminine contours. You signed the consent forms yourself. Besides, those D-cup implants cost extra, be grateful for my generosity. His face purpled with rage. You've destroyed our family line. Dad and Grandma will make you pay. I doubled over laughing. What dynasty are we preserving? Since you're my sister now, let's find you a proper name. How about Debbie? True to form, Debbie showed up at the airport next morning clutching her stitches. All bluster gone. "You're late," she whined. My sunglasses hid rolling eyes as I hissed, "Keep complaining and I'll leave you here." Back home. Tony sprawled on the couch amidst cigarette butts. "Where's your brother?" he grunted, spitting on the floor. "Extending his vacation." I lied, unpacking my suitcase. "By the way, any villagers looking for brides? My friend wants a husband, only asks $5,000 dowry." Tony Johnson's eyes lit up as he scrambled off the couch. "What's she look like? Pretty?" "Absolutely. Stunning figure. Looks like she could bear sons." "Don't worry, Dad. Total knockout." Tony grew animated. "Remember Larry from the village? He's been pestering me to find him a wife lately. Offered 50 grand for the dowry. Seems like easy money, why don't you set them up?" Vicky smirked inwardly. Last lifetime, Larry had paid 100,000 to buy her. Now Tony wanted to pocket the difference. "Sure." Vicky agreed readily. "Send me Larry's number. I'll bring my classmate to the village this weekend." When Larry's contact appeared on her phone, Vicky forced down memories of cigarette burns and rusted chains to arrange the meeting. The following week found Vicky observing an underground fight club. Her pulse quickened when Mandy entered the ring. Beautiful yet lethal. Her calloused fists pounded opponents into unconsciousness. The crisscross scars on her arms told stories Vicky understood. Sliding a stack of cash into her hand, Vicky whispered, "Mandy, let's make a deal." 7 days later, Jason squirmed in the back seat of Vicky's car. "Where are you taking me?" "I feel awful," he whined. Vicky eyed his designer clothes clinging to his pampered frame. Her 100 grand a year rehab team had done excellent work. One precise chop to his neck later, Jason slumped unconscious. Mandy's training had been worth every penny. Larry drooled as he carried Jason's limp body into his shack. The old pervert's gnarled hands already roamed over Jason's curves. Bile rose in Vicky's throat as he produced a thick chain. "Keep him secure," Vicky warned. "No refunds if he escapes." "Don't you worry, Vicky," Larry leered, fastening the collar. "No woman's ever escaped our village." Jason awoke screaming as Vicky turned to leave. "Sis. What's happening?" "Take me home." "Sis?" Vicky laughed, caressing his tear-streaked face. "You should be grateful. Most women would kill for this chance. Don't be like those picky bitches who end up lonely cat ladies." His pallor matched the wedding bedsheets as Vicky whispered, "Happy life, little sister." "Vicky, this is trafficking," Jason shrieked. "I'll call the cops." The slap echoed off moldy walls. "Funny," Vicky hissed, watching his cheek bloom red. "Mom was trafficked here 30 years ago. Where were your principals then?" Another slap balanced the swelling. "Look at you, blushing bride already. Enjoy your honeymoon." Outside, Larry waited like the cockroach he was. "Uncle Larry." Vicky feigned concern. "Your roof leaks. My construction crew will fix it tomorrow, family discount." His yellowed teeth gleamed. "You Johnsons always take care of me." "Of course." Vicky smiled sweetly. "Be gentle with my sister tonight." They both knew he wouldn't. The branding iron scars on Vicky's back throbbed in anticipation. Let Jason learn what moonlight through barred windows tastes like. The Johnson dynasty's legacy would continue, one broken body at a time. The renovation crew arrived in the village the next day. Following my instructions, they not only refurbished the house but also installed hidden cameras throughout the property. My greatest satisfaction these days comes from watching Tony suffer through the surveillance feed. That afternoon, I observed Jason crawling on all fours like a dog, licking spoiled buns off the floor. I didn't notice approaching footsteps until Tony's voice boomed behind me. "What are you doing?" Startled, I instinctively locked my tablet screen. Studying his suspicious expression, I cautiously replied, "Just watching a drama series." "Dad, did you need something?" Tony frowned. "Why hasn't Jason returned?" "His phone's unreachable." I slapped my forehead in feigned realization. "Oh. Jason contacted me about starting a successful business in Thailand. He transferred $50,000 for you. I showed fabricated chat records on my phone. See? He wanted you to enjoy this gift. Tony's eyes lit up examining the fake transaction. My boys made it big. Transfer it now, I'm posting this on Facebook. As I complied, I suppressed laughter. 50 grand impressed this fool? I'd spent millions maintaining him over the years. When Tony turned to leave with his windfall, I called out, Dad. My friend's visiting. Maybe take a walk? His face darkened instantly. You dare chase me from my own house? Vicky? I backpedaled fast, my mistake. Dad. Please don't be angry. He stormed out, slamming the door. During my shower later, Mandy arrived. Through bathroom walls, I heard Tony's stammering greeting, Gee, good evening. Miss. Mandy's sweet voice replied. Hello, Mr. Johnson. I'm Vicky's friend. I grinned, listening via hidden mic. The bait had been taken. In the following weeks, Tony groomed himself meticulously whenever Mandy visited. The night I worked late, Mandy showed up drunk at 1 a.m. Through surveillance cameras, I watched Tony drag her inside after failed attempts to restrain her. You'll love this, princess, he growled, forcing a pill down her throat. Right on cue, I burst in with police officers. Officers. My friend reported an assault. Dad? Tony collapsed trembling as handcuffs clicked. This is a misunderstanding. She wanted, the cops cut him off mid-plea. Body cam footage capturing every damning detail. I chimed in. That's right. Officer. This must be a misunderstanding. My father would never do such a thing. Tony gave me an approving smile, clearly pleased with my cooperation. Mandy sobbed on the bed. It was him. He tried to assault me and drugged me. How can I live with this shame? Tony snapped. You lying little witch. You came to my room saying you wanted me. This was consensual. Look how you're dressed, you were asking for it. Officer. I said earnestly. Our security cameras will show the truth. Tony paled, scrambling up to block me. No. That's unnecessary, the officer brushed past him. Show us the footage. When the video finished playing, Tony trembled violently before screaming at me. Vicky. You scheming bitch. You planted cameras in my bedroom? I widened my eyes innocently. Dad. I installed them after those thefts. I never imagined. My voice broke as tears welled up. The officer squeezed my shoulder. This isn't your fault. They hauled Tony away in cuffs. The trial went smoothly, with the drug evidence and attempted rape charges. Tony got 5 years. He wet himself in court, wailing I can't go to prison, as guards dragged him off. Vicky. I'll kill you when I get out. He shrieked. I smiled coldly. At 50. Would he even survive 5 years? Especially with the arrangements I'd made. Months later, the cameras showed Jason's final moments. Driven mad by prolonged abuse, he bit Larry during a beating. Enraged, Larry beat him to death. I watched Larry dump the body before calmly calling police. Mandy. Larry feigned surprise when officers arrived. What brings you here? My brother's missing, I said flatly. He spread his arms. No one here but me. I led them to the hills where wild dogs had torn Jason's corpse. Brother. I collapsed beside the remains, tears streaming. My heart sang, finally. When parole hearings started for Tony's early release, Sophia filed new charges: human trafficking. 3 decades of imprisonment and abuse. Why come forward now? I scolded through tears. She hugged me fiercely. Every night I relive it. This time, I fight for us both. Our legal team and viral social media campaigns sparked national debates about trafficking penalties. Let's see him charm his way out of this. Tony Johnson hadn't even stepped out of prison before being sentenced to another 10 years. The moment the verdict was announced, Tony collapsed unconscious. The hardest thing isn't making someone lose hope, it's giving them hope first, then snatching it away. As I walked out of the courthouse arm in arm with Sophia, The sunlight felt blindingly bright. My smile shone even brighter. Our new life was just beginning.